smell it? Do you smell it from here?
Ooh, my.
I can already smell it.
Ooh, I'm already, my face is already puckering up.
Suddenly, I'm getting nervous. Have you smelled it? Do you smell it from here?
Ooh, my.
I can already smell it.
Ooh, I'm already, my face is already puckering up. It's like a chemistry class where you have to like waft the chemical to your nose.
All right, so the original idea was that we were going to ask each other questions.
Yes.
I thought, I have a question, but I think it's going to be long enough for us to just have a single discussion on this one question.
Okay.
But I don't want to bring it up until we're into it.
I have a question for you too.
Okay, good.
So maybe we each ask one. Then we. Okay.
Suddenly, I'm getting nervous. I don't want to wimp it out, but it's so chunky.
But you gotta leave enough to enjoy it later. I'm gonna just take a little bit on the corner there. There we go. Okay.
Cheers.
Right, cheers.
It's not so bad yet.
It just got worse. It just got worse.
It just completely coats the tongue.
It's at the back of my throat now.
I haven't really swallowed yet. That's my problem.
Oh yeah, that was my mistake.
I'm okay.
It's fine. It's bearable. It's you know what it is? It's the longest lasting hot sauce I think I've ever eaten. Usually it tapers off by now.
It's an awful flavor.
It's really not good.
Yeah, it's not passing. That's happening.
Like, I would not want to eat a lot of wings with this.
I'm gonna go in for more. So here's my question to you, Brian.
All right.
You're a smart man.
I'd like you to
Physics professor.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing isn't good.
I'm not gonna make a face. I'm not gonna make a face.
Explain to the people. I've been dealing my entire adult life trying to explain to people that 0.9 repeating is not 1. Please explain to them why 0.9 repeating is not 1. Please.
But I'm gonna explain to them why it is 1.
No, but it's not 1.
Okay.
It can't be 1 because it never finishes. Truly, the true form of the true form of 0.9 repeating is not 1. You have to change it to make it 1.
Okay, how much do you have to change it by, though, is the question. I think you just answered your own question.
You have to stop it at some point. You can't use infinite. You can't use infinity.
Yes,
like
you can.
that.
Yes, you
No.
can.
It's just.
So, there's a recent number file video called All the Numbers,
Yes, I've seen it.
where they talk about the set of
not
computable
doing
numbers. A set of computable numbers. Mm-hmm. Right? So 0.9 repeating is computable because I can give you a set of instructions to construct it, even if it takes you an infinite amount of time to construct it.
But here's the problem. There must be a point immediately before 1
Why?
that exists.
Why?
Why would that not exist?
Okay, how big is this number then?
It's infinite.
It's infinite?
Yeah, we'll never finish computing it.
But that doesn't make it an infinite size, just because it's an infinite number of digits.
It has an infinite number of digits, therefore it's a number that we can never truly use.
What do you mean by use?
Use in the most complete sense that we're actually using its true value.
Well, I mean, how many digits do you typically use in a number? Is the question.
But see, you're changing it. How many digits do you typically use? Less than infinity.
But you're the one that introduced the criteria that you need to use the number itself.
But that's my point is, in order for us to use it, we're changing it. It's no longer infinite.
So is your problem with the notion that the number exists, or the notion that we need to round the number in order to use it?
Exactly. My problem is, my problem is, we have to round the number in order to use it. That's my problem. And I'm fine with that, but we need to acknowledge that.
Okay.
We're not taught that.
Now,
We're taught, don't touch your eyes. We're taught that, 0.9 repeating equals 1. No, 0.9 repeating rounded equals 1. And in order for us to use it, we have to round it. So I understand that, but we need to teach kids the concept of infinity.
in order to use it, we have to round it, meaning we have to truncate it. We have to stop the 9s at some point. But that's not rounding.
Exactly.
That's not rounding it to 1.
Nor is it infinity. Nor is it 0.9 repeating.
Well, no, it's not infinity, meaning an infinitely big number.
No, true. But if you chop it off at some point, it's no longer 0.9 repeating.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Do you have the same issue with pi? Because pi also has an infinite number of digits. We use it all the time, but we must truncate it in order to use it.
No, I have no problem with that because we say pi is 3.14 blah 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 blah. We say pi is an ever-ending number, but in order to use it, we shorten it to this number. We don't say that with 0.9 repeating. We're just taught that 0.9 repeating equals 1.
Well, but the reason we are taught and that we teach that the 0.9 repeating is 1 is to teach students this notion of numbers being having of how to represent numbers, right? So you can have a representation of a number in decimal form, you can have it in fraction form, you can have it in continued fraction form. The idea is that representing it as a 0.9 with a bar over it is the same thing as writing a 1. It's about representation. It's not about value. It's about representation.
No, I understand that. But I'm sick of the incomplete educational lesson being taught.
Okay. So it could be taught better.
Oh, absolutely.
But the thing that is being taught is correct.
But not complete. Therefore incorrect in my mind.
Oh, it's hurting my ear now.
Oh, dude,
It's
okay. So carry on with your question. We could go on to 0.9 repeating about this.
Yes. Okay. So Cal,
I thought you agreed with me on that, by the way. I feel cheated.
You are notorious on your YouTube channel. You don't do this with every game. But you are notorious with playing some games, but what might be kindly called suboptimally.
Oh, yeah.
How do you
One
answer
could say that.
How do you answer that? And
I want more, but I don't want more.
and how do you? What is it about playing suboptimally that attracts you and that brings you enjoyment in the game? I say this as being represented by one of your suboptimal characters recently.
Oh. The best paintings in the world are arguably imperfect. Now, I'm just saying this to sound smart. I don't actually know or believe this. I'm just saying it to sound smart. The point is, exhaling is so bad. Just talk while you breathe in. Is that even possible? No, it's not. I don't think so. Okay. There is an audience. There is an audience for people playing games perfectly. There is an audience for people learning the best way to play something. That is not me. That is not my audience. And for instance, well, here's what leads to it. This isn't really answering your question, but here's what causes it. I can only record 30. Charles is denying Brian
our stagehand.
more drink. Our stagehand. Thanks, Klaus.
You know, Klaus was actually on the show.
Klaus is actually on the show. So, where was I? Okay, so part of the problem is, no, not your fingers, Kyle. Part of the problem is, I record 30 minutes to an hour a night. Therefore, what that means is, I might be playing a game 30 minutes a week. No more, no less. And the problem is, in those 7 days in between, I forget so many mechanics. So in Xenoblade Chronicles recently, I went chasing after an objective. And I kept chasing after it, and kept chasing after it, and my entire audience the whole time is screaming, "You idiot!" That's the story objective, not the quest objective. There are two different markers for it. So, that doesn't really answer your question. I don't even remember exactly what your question was.
What enjoyment are you trying to derive? And perhaps to go to your original answer, what do you assume about your audience? That leads you to play suboptimally.
No. I do intentionally. RimWorld is a good example. I don't want to play to win in RimWorld because that doesn't seem as entertaining to me. I think what's more funny is to watch me be bad in many instances. Much like it's funny to watch us try and talk while eating hot sauce. This conversation would not be interesting without the hot sauce in
No, it would be a lot shorter too. Can I get some tea, please?
You want some ice?
Oh, sure.
Let's share.
Let's share cooties. Cheers.
Does that? I think that answers the question, though. Because watching someone do something perfect, there's a reason. There's a reason why fail montages exist. People don't necessarily want. Thank you, dear. People don't necessarily want to watch perfection. They also want to feel human.
But yours are not outright failures. Yours are genuine attempts to succeed, followed by sometimes ridiculous failure. So where do you feel you are in that spectrum?
Where am I in that spectrum?
Or are you on an axis altogether different?
I'll say this: there is a percentage. What percentage? I don't know. Call it 5, call it 10, call it 20, call it 50. There's a percentage of it.
99.999.
Call it 99.999 repeating. There's a percentage of it
last dab.
that is I'm done with the last dab. Oh, there is a percentage that exists in me that does some of it intentionally for show. There is a percentage of me that's going into games, especially RimWorld, thinking, I know for a fact this isn't the best solution, but I know it's going to make it more entertaining. However, how much that percentage is, couldn't begin to tell you. I'd like to think it's higher, which makes me sound smarter, but I don't think it's that high.
So how much of your decisions are based on entertainment value, and how much of them are based on, this is how I would play if nobody was watching me?
Depends on the game. RimWorld, it's a much higher rate of what's going to be entertaining because of the way RimWorld works. A game like Xenoblade Chronicles, no, that's a part. It's mostly how I would play the game. Because my fans for that series would be really mad at me if I did something intentionally dumb. I do enough unintentional dumb things in the game. Please tell me that satisfies your answer.
One last question.
No.
Do you feel the sauce has gotten tastier over time, or is it?
It's not as bad. I actually wouldn't mind it maybe a little bit on a Firehouse New York steamer. It's funny. It's gone away a good bit now. It's not nearly the same type of pain as the hot sauce I have at home, but it's definitely more lingering. It's sharper. It's sharp.
It started making hot mush. Has Emily stopped and started? Do you need to clap again?
No, we're fine. I think we're good. This is for you, Hill Dragon, and all you other Hot Ones fans.
Keep sitting on the ice.
Go subscribe to
Let's Go Physics
and Codblame Plays, and yeah, we'll see you then. Adios. Goodbye. It's so good.
Oh. I cannot imagine eating that after, it's what, 10 wings total?
Yeah, no. After the build-up, Charles, you want to try some? No. Oh, come on. Gosh. Now you're not gonna be able to kiss your wife for like a month. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
This is for the little take
Yeah,
after this.
these are the outtakes.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, cookie cake.
Hey, I want a piece of that has the chocolate on it because I didn't get a piece yet.
What's that chocolate? Coat the chocolate.
Do you want some milk?
Human Torch was tonight a bank bottom.